Hello and welcome to another episode of Inter Club India podcast where we talk everything Inter, the previews, reviews, transfer market, and everything in between. As usual, with me is Manish and Parmeshwar. So it was a routine match yesterday, a routine victory 3-1, but overshadowed by the substitution. Parmeshwar, coming to you first, what do you make of the situation? Was it warranted for Conte to treat Eriksen like that?
Yeah, and thanks, Gautam, first for the question. Yeah, I mean, as you said first, just capping off the win. It was a pretty routine win, as you said. My only concern was that Bologna had beaten us at home the past two seasons, but I mean, we put up a pretty solid performance. There weren't many lapses apart from that one goal, and it was pretty solid. So good to see that. Good to see the win, and then of course, it was marred by that substitution, the Eriksen substitution. Like, yeah, I mean, I was talking to Manish before we just began the podcast, and I personally didn't like seeing that. Like we all know, Eriksen's done at Inter. Like his time is up. He's not gonna stay. He's going in January, be it on loan, be it on a permanent transfer, anyhow. But he's gone. He's not a part of the plan anymore. So what I don't get is like why substitute him in at all in the match. Like there's literally 2.5 minutes to go. It's not that Alexis will get injured in those 2.5 minutes or anyone else for that matter. So why are you humiliating him? He didn't have a touch of the ball, like nothing. You could see the look at it on his face. That picture is going viral, everywhere on Twitter, and any other platform. And it was genuinely sad to see. Personally, that's what I feel at least. Like I'm someone who's been backing Conte for a long time. Like I've never said, Conte should be sacked or he should be let go of. And I still back Conte, but this one instance, like, is something I just don't like. Like I don't like seeing this. You don't in, insult any player like this. Like when I was having this discussion with other people on other groups, and someone pointed out that if it was Gagliardini, you guys wouldn't have made a big deal of it. Like you would have made up probably, you would have had a laugh about it, and you would have, said it's Gagliardini, who gives a shit, right? But nah, I guess any player in general, I don't think deserves to be treated like this. Like what is that? Like I don't get it. Like what's 2.5 minutes? What is he gonna do? And then again, Conte would say, I gave him time to play, and then he didn't do anything in those 2.5 minutes. So it was really painful to see. Like so, I just hope he goes or leaves Inter for his own sake. Like, nothing against. I want him here. Like, I still hope, some part of me hopes that some miracle happens and he ends up doing well. But that's not happening, right? So I hope he leaves Inter like for his own good, and wherever he goes, he can be happy and enjoys football. Because I personally can't watch him suffer so much anymore. Like, it's not good. Like, and then after in the post-match conference yesterday, he's like, Conte is like, I have a very good relationship with Eriksen. Like, what are you, like, whom are you lying to? Like, what relationship do you have with Eriksen? Like, I don't get it. He's like, Eriksen works hard. He's available for us. What, for 2.5 minutes, he's available for you? So I don't get it. Like, it's sad to see. Like, I always wanted Eriksen to do well. Still hope he does. But yeah, he's gone. And like, if he's leaving, just let him be, just let him be on the sidelines. Don't insult him. That's all. Like you could see, social media was flooded with this. A lot of Inter fans were pissed. Like they didn't like this even. And as you said, Gautam, I saw your post-match reaction as well. The whole win was marred by this. Like it's like we have a good win and we can't enjoy it. Like even after the Sassuolo win, he threw a tantrum. This just goes back to even to the Atalanta win. He threw a tantrum. We can't enjoy these good wins. Like he won against Bologna, beat a bogey team, and then again something happens. It's sad to watch. Yeah, so I really hope he finds a club and he enjoys himself there. And like I'll have regrets once he goes, but I just want him to be happy, man. Yeah.
Manish, coming to you, like, what did you make of the situation? Like, obviously, it's a bad thing what Conte did. And Eriksen, yeah, it looks like he's gone. But if you keep him on the bench, then you have people saying, why haven't you used him at all? But it looks like it's better to have him on the bench instead of inserting him by putting him in last minute when it's not required. It's not like he's a defender. It's not like you're putting an extra defender in the final minute. So what are your thoughts on this?
Yes, so Gautam, first thing is I just like like Parmesh just said, we just discussed before the podcast. It's a couple of things. Yeah, I had a different insight. I'm actually in the other side of the fence. Uh, for one, I think last year, if you just give a small example of Alexis Sanchez also last year didn't get much run. He used to come last 3 minutes, last 4 minutes, last 5 minutes in pretty every other match. So, but whenever he came on Gotham, you won't believe that hunger, the drive. Even though just for 5 minutes he comes on, he that spark in Alexis Sanchez last year, we were like hoping to see more of that. So Sanchez was an impact player last year. So I never saw Sanchez throw tantrums and stuff. I know he had this obvious injury issues and Eriksen doesn't have it. But whenever I saw Sanchez on the field last season, I'm not seeing the same this season. So now forget the last 2 minutes. Even if I feel he comes in the last 10 minutes or so, Eriksen is pretty much his body language shows a sign of defeat. His language, his movement, everything. I don't know what's wrong with the guy. Maybe he's suffering psychologically, or he's not accustomed to the new country and new surroundings, or something's really wrong with him. Because of that, his football is getting affected. Also, see, not to blame Conte. I'm not the one who says, oh, Conte tortured him, Conte punished him. No, Conte tried his best. He even changed his formation. Stubborn Conte changed his formation to 3-4-1-2 just to accommodate Eriksen. And if you check last season after the lockdown period, the first match was a Coppa Italia match, Inter-Napoli. And he straight away gave chance. In the first match, he gave chance to Eriksen, and he played as the center attacking midfielder role. And I think believe he scored from the corner, that goal. So, and ever since then, we saw this 3-4-1-2 formation out of nowhere just to accommodate Eriksen. And the formation was gone for the longest time. Conte used it. He only scrapped it, like I would say, like maybe 10 days ago or so. So it's not that Conte hasn't tried. Conte has tried, but something is not clicking. It's Conte, Eriksen, the formation, tactics, and overall Eriksen's body language. So, like I said, Gotham, see, playing for Inter is prestigious thing. It doesn't matter if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, even last 3 minutes. Whenever he comes on, Eriksen, I feel he should show a bit more passion. I'm not doubting the guy. That guy is definitely a quality player. But saying that this should not be treated as punishment, or he just came 2 minutes and stuff. No, I feel that ideology is wrong. Maybe next game you might come last 10 minutes. Again, people are going to complain, oh, he just came for 10 minutes. No, just cut that guy some slack. And seeing now, I think Eriksen absolutely has no chance in the team if Conte is reverted back to 3-5-2. The only way where we can see Eriksen right now is where Conte plays 3-5-1-1 formation, maybe just behind Lukaku. That's the only way. That's why he keeps subbing for Alexis for Eriksen. So going back to my point, I'm just saying now, so let's not get the hypes or hopes up that God Eriksen's going to start. Eriksen's not going to start. Let's be clear on that. Since we don't have proper four strikers, we just have Lautaro, we have Lukaku, and we have Sanchez, three strikers. So only chance where Eriksen comes is to replace one of these guys as a one behind the striker. Got them.
Yeah, and also coming back to the match, we had a routine victory, so at least we can be happy about it. So coming back to the match, it was a Hakimi masterclass. Like finally we saw what he can do. Do you think like dropping him and getting Darmian in had an effect on Hakimi? Like, okay, now I have to fight for my place, because when he came in, it was so much hype. Like he would have thought, oh, I'm a guaranteed starter because there is so much hype about him. And then he saw that, okay, if he doesn't perform, he's getting dropped. And then Darmian comes in and he performs really well. So do you think that competitiveness, that pressure made him perform that way?
Definitely, Gautam. I really agree that for a fact, because I think Hakimi had it in his head that no one's going to replace me, irrespective of how a good match or bad match. And that guy's really young. He's just 2021. So suddenly the pressure gets onto him, or it'll affect his performance. So now I'm so happy that Darmian came, took some pressure off his shoulders, and now you can see much more relaxed Hakimi. And Hakimi's happily rotate. I don't think he's going to throw a tantrum of us, oh, why am I not starting, or why not playing? Because that guy needs some time. He's a new signing, new place, new language, new surroundings, same like Eriksen. So this guy, seriously, he can shine for us, Hakimi. But what a game, what a match, Hakimi, real masterclass. And I was so impressed with the Conte's 3-5-2 formation. Why now? Because normally he uses wing backs as one attacking, one defensive. He uses Hakimi and Young, or Darmian and Perisic. So one defensive, one attacking. That balances out. But this time with three midfielders, Brozovic sitting as a regista, Barella and Vidal, or Gagliardini and Vidal, they all three sat back. So this gave Conte more chance to push the wing backs. That's why first time I'm seeing offensive Hakimi in one side, Perisic in one side this season. And yeah, brilliant, amazing. And I love the link-up play between Brozovic, Hakimi, and Sanchez. Oh my God, these three guys. I think Hakimi needs those type passes. All this while we don't release Hakimi at the right time. Hakimi is always waiting for the right pass. Only Sanchez as the one. I've seen a lot of videos where I think whichever goal Hakimi has created, all Sanchez has given a long ball to him. So that the team has to understand and has to supply that. So Brozovic, brilliant performance by him. He gave a long ball, and I'm so glad. Normally, what, Hakimi runs outwards. First time he ran inwards, and both the goals, it caught, I think, Bologna was surprised because all this they expected is, okay, Hakimi is going to run towards the corner flag and then going to whip in. But this time Hakimi gave a diagonal run, which surprised everybody. But what a vision by Brozovic. I think man of the match definitely should go to Brozovic. Although Hakimi scored two beautiful goals, but that passing, the range which reached Hakimi was really, really impressive. Gautam.
Yeah, Parmeshwar, I know that you're a big fan of Hakimi, and yesterday's performance, I think you would have been very happy. Plus, Lukaku getting on the score sheet, and he's on way to become the fastest to 50 in Serie A. He needs 4 goals in 5 matches, I guess.
Yeah.
And what did you make of the performance, like Lukaku's and Hakimi's performance, let's include Brozovic as well. That pass was out of this world.
So, yeah, I mean, first of all three of them, I think in general had a really good game. Like Lukaku, I was glad to see that, Lukaku could get his goal and then have a decent, he didn't have to overwork himself, like in this match. Like, you have to, press up and down. Usually, tougher matches, he has to drop really deep, work hard. He didn't have to do that yesterday. Everyone did their role well. Brozovic was, in the right position. If Brozovic is in his 3-5-2, he knows what he's doing. He's really comfortable, he knows where to be. So nobody had to, cover up for each other's mistakes per se. So that way, as Manish said, Brozovic's pass. What I'd like to point out on that is that, as he said, Alexis is the one who's usually found Hakimi on his goals like that, making those passes. That's true. And Brozovic doing that yesterday is a huge positive for me, at least, because it shows that other teammates are, identifying Hakimi's strengths. Like, because Hakimi, even at Borussia Dortmund, when I watched him, Dortmund would play on the break, on the counter, and he would always have the space to run into. He would always have those through balls lobbed into the space, and he would run either wide or cut in, like a lot of times. And so far, up until now, what we have done whenever we played 3-4-1-2 in our rough patch, especially, we've always sat high and, he passed it to his feet directly. He didn't have the space to run. He wasn't used to it. So this is something now Conte has seen, that he needs the space, and he showed it yesterday. Also, he could have had I think one assist as well. He completely had that burst of pace and run, and he passed it to Lukaku, but Skorupski literally leapt and saved it. Skorupski was really good, but then Hakimi you could see that if you feed the ball into the right spaces, Hakimi will take over. He uses his space. And just coming to Hakimi's performance in general, man, what do you say? It was really good. He, for once, after quite some time, he could compose. He was composed while finishing. That first goal. He didn't sky it, or he placed it really well. That plus he controlled the ball well, so it was good to see. Overall pretty good. And as Conte said, with Hakimi, as Manish pointed out, or I think it was you, Gautam, there was initially, once he played he had a good game against Benevento in that 5-2 win. People were calling him the next Garincha and all, and they were hyping him, and then and the next moment when he didn't have a good game against Real Madrid, they were they were saying, what is Hakimi doing? Is this situation similar to Eriksen if he gets benched? Conte was there's no middle ground at Inter. It's at extremes. Either you're very good or either you're very bad. But again, he's as Manish said, he's just a 22-year-old young player, at the end of the day. Yeah. So, as it was a really good performance for Hakimi. He now realizes that, as Manish pointed, there is someone reliable to take that pressure off him. There's Darmian there. So, if Hakimi doesn't do well in match A, Darmian can always step in the next game, or even during the match, can be subbed in, and Hakimi doesn't have too much pressure. So this is the right environment for him to grow. Conte said it yesterday as well. He's at the right club. He even said he's with the right coach. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it was a good game. Like I hope, the midweek game. Like let's see if he starts or not. I don't know. I still feel Damian will end up starting because it's a counter attacking team like Shakhtar will be facing. But anyways, this is a long process, Gautam. Like Hakimi is here to stay for quite some time, and yesterday's performance was a really good one where I feel he showed a bit more maturity in general. The defensive phase of the game, and those runs. Third goal was a peach. Like so yeah. I mean, overall a good game. Happy with everyone's performance in general. Yeah.
Yeah, and you spoke about composure, and one of my main gripes with Lautaro is like he misses his chances. And yesterday again, Lautaro missed, and Sanchez also missed a chance where he could have scored. So coming now to Champions League, and we need to be clinical because Shakhtar will dominate. And even though it ended 0-0 the first time, I think this match will be a high-scoring one as well. What are your views on it? Like I'm guessing Sanchez will be benched and Lautaro will start.
Yeah, so Gautam, see, I mean, one of the major reasons why Sanchez started in the first place yesterday was that we all know he's going to get benched. It's not about Sanchez, not being good. It's not that. See, in the past, we have seen whenever Lukaku and Alexis start, they don't link quite as well as Lautaro and Lukaku do. And I feel that, Lautaro, yes, as you said, he has these moments, where he's too selfish on the ball. He sees an open pass, he doesn't pass it, or he's too, let's say, he doesn't shoot at the right moment. So, but the thing with Lautaro is why, like what Conte loves the most about it is his pressing aspect. That guy presses relentlessly. He knows when to press the centre backs. He knows when to press the player on the ball. So, and that's helpful for Lukaku. So, Lukaku then can hold up the ball if the opposition gets dispossessed and get others into play. So, Lautaro is definitely starting this game. And let's say, I was watching the press conference yesterday. Conte did address this, how he was talking about how Shakhtar would set up. So what he was saying is that, Shakhtar, see, now the group is completely open. Shakhtar have a chance as well to make it to the next round of the Champions League. So he personally feels that, Shakhtar will also try to sit back maybe because that's their strength at the end of the day. Now on the counter, they're the most dangerous. What he personally wants from the team in midweek is that to show the same level of consistent concentration and determination. Yes, that one lapse was there yesterday against Bologna, but we were pretty solid in all phases. Other than that, we defended really well. I was really impressed, and I think it was a long time coming since we saw that apart from the Sassuolo game. So it was a pretty impressive one. So I really feel that setting up in this match, both teams will try to be a bit cautious going into it. Let's say, let's see who makes the first errors, but it's pretty much going to be, Lautaro starting, and we all know the rest of the lineup. I don't think it's going to be a major change. Maybe the only doubt, we will probably have is whether Damian starts or Hakimi starts. Because as Manish pointed out a while ago, we played two proper attacking wingbacks because, Perisic and Hakimi on the other side, But what I've noticed about Perisic also in the last few games is that the guy has actually shown good defensive stability, right? Against Sassuolo especially, it's like I never expected someone like Perisic to keep Berardi at bay. Like that was really surprising for me. And even against Bologna, he put in a pretty good defensive shift. Like he's getting there, he's understanding. And it's good to see, like then, that indirectly eliminates a need for a new wing back. Like if he's going at this rate, if he keeps working like this, we don't need a new wing back anymore. So yeah, I mean, the only dilemma would be, whether Perisic starts or, or whether, it's Young or either, Damian or Hakimi. That's the only thing. And a big game coming up. Let's see. I am expecting that, we try to sit back as well. But yeah, I mean, let's see. It's going to be a tough one. Hopefully, he picks the right combination of players, picks the right 11 and has the right approach. I know for the last 2 seasons we have been found out under this pressure, of qualifying on the last day. I hope it's not the same thing this time around. Like we've suffered a lot, I guess, for the past 2 seasons. So let's hope for the good. Let's hope for the best, man.
Yeah, and Manish, the same thing to you for the Champions League, and attack is the best form of defense. So you think that we should put Shakhtar under pressure from the get-go, like play the same team, and instead of Sanchez, you get Lautaro in, but play the same team, keep pressing them, make sure they make the mistakes, keep them under pressure because Inter have to win. There's no other option for us. And plus, our mentality should be like, let us win, and then we'll see what happens with the real match. Or do you think the mentality would be such that they might get affected, thinking, okay, will the real match end in a draw? Do you think that will be in back of their minds and they will commit errors, or do you think they'll just forget about the match? I mean, it's up to Conte to tell them to forget about it. Do you think that's possible and attack from the start and go for like 3-0 at halftime or something like that?
So, Gotham, the only thing we as Inter fans and Inter as a club or the players is focused on our result. We cannot pretty much control the other opposing team's results. So, there's no point thinking too much and stressing about that. So, saying that, Shakhtar, like Parmeshwar pointed out, they are in a very good position. Even they can qualify. Yeah. So, I don't want Inter to go all of a sudden all out attack like crazy and leave a lot of spaces. Shakhtar will punish you in the spaces. We have seen that with Real Madrid. Real Madrid were attacking like crazy and all their defenders out of place, and they punish them and they can take the chances. It's not that they cannot take. I think they had like 3 or 4 shots against Madrid, in which pretty much they scored goals. So we should not give them any space. So I'm expecting Conte to use like what do you say, wing backs of clearly Darmian and Ashley Young. They both were rested during the midweek for pretty much this match. So it's obviously if we're losing and we need last 30 minutes, Hakimi and Perisic may come on. But I feel Conte is going to use a little more conservative approach. And this time we have to play with our heads right because last 2 seasons during the last day, we had an easy match against PSV in the first leg in the 2 years back. And I think we pretty much struggled. We clashed in the 78th minute or something. There was a defensive error from Asamoah, which they capitalized and they scored on their one chance. So this type matches are really crazy. You know, the pressure gets to the players. So we should start very coolly, not just directly attack from the first minute. Chances will come. You know, this type of match demands composure. Players like Lautaro, players like beat the Darmian, they should be composed because we are going to get chances. We are playing in our stadium, you know. The best scenario would be we scoring in the first 15 or 20 minutes, then we take control of the match. And then the match can turn up to 2-0, 3-0. That would be the ideal scenario. But like, you know, for the Inter, it's never easy. It's going to be last pretty much 25 or 30 odd minutes where pretty much everyone's doing the prayers and all that. Like, you know, it's going to be that scenario like always. So let's hope this time it's not like that. And we take the game. So Madrid's match, Madrid also Zidane has to perform because I heard if Madrid doesn't win, Zidane could be sacked. So for Real Madrid, also it's game of their life, and so I'm expecting Real Madrid to really perform and play their hearts out and beat Borussia Mönchengladbach. We, for our part, I think we must stay calm. Chances will come, and we should take them. We beat Shakhtar on Europa League on a big match, and last one, the first leg also, we had a couple of chances. Lautaro completely missed an open net, and they are defending with 10 men behind the ball. But this time I feel it's going to be different. I'm sure Conte has learned different ways because I'm sure, like Parmeshwar pointed out, they're going to sit back. They're definitely going to sit back. It's going to be a very frustrating game for us. They cut down all the spaces. Yeah, but let's hope for some, you know, good corner goal or Lukaku's solo goal or something like that. That only those can change, I think, because they're going to defend like crazily. But I'm quite confident on this match, Gautam. I'm really confident.
Yeah, Parmeshwar, now, as Manish pointed out, last season we beat them 5-0 or was it 5-1? I don't
5-0.
remember.
5-0, 5-0. Yeah.
5-0, yeah. So that was a must-win match, and now again it's a must-win match. Do you think that's a positive thing for us, knowing that, see, we had the similar situation last season against the same team and we destroyed them 5-0. And this season now again, Lukaku is like, he's the leader now. Like he's vocal and he's the one who is motivating the team. And he knows that, okay, we defeated these guys 5-0 last season, and now again it's a must-win situation. And do you think that motivates us even more, that knowing that we have beaten this team 5-0?
Yeah. I mean, of course, that plays a role, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure, they've discussed that, they have brought it up. I'm pretty sure, like, at least once, maybe in the first leg, or maybe they will bring it up again. Like, beating them 5-0 in a Europa League semi-final, you know, see, it wasn't an easy thing, even though we thrashed them 5-0. It's because we had a good tactical setup. I remember us sitting back in that match instead. We didn't constantly press them. And, like, we completely neutralized their main striker, Junior Moraes. Like, he was cornered by everyone, and we just destroyed them on the counter. So the thing is, yes, the team will take that into account. But with that being said, there's still a different side. Let's, like, last season they got battered 5-0, but this time around, they have that confidence that we've beaten Real Madrid twice, not once but twice. At home, away from home. Like, at home they kept a clean sheet, so that's one. And the biggest motivating factor for Shakhtar Donetsk is they can still go through. Like, it's open for all, right? So, like, I see. I am expecting Shakhtar to sit back, but I don't know. Maybe they might press us. They might get the better of us. I don't know. But the thing is, for us, as Manish said, I think we need to eliminate all the external factors. Like, we just need to cancel all those out. Inter as a club, we say Pazza Inter and everything. It's all, all these external factors coming together, putting us under pressure, and, all that bottling and everything, and, all those crazy moments like the Empoli match. Maybe it happens against Shakhtar, but, our focus now needs to be clear. Just focus on your own match. Don't give a toss about what Real Madrid and Mönchengladbach are doing. Yes, if that match ends in a draw, even if we win our match, we are out. I understand, and that's going to be really painful. And, being an Inter fan, it gives you nightmares that probably that's what's going to happen, right? Because we're so used to these kind of scenarios. Like, we do our thing, and in the end, some small thing doesn't go our way, and, yeah, we suffer. But I hope not. But yeah, I mean, there's no point of focusing on the Mönchengladbach match. Even at halftime, let's say, it's 0-0 in both games. Maybe you just check the score, because you Inter need to remember one thing. We control Mönchengladbach's fate to an extent. We control Real Madrid's fate heavily. So if Shakhtar win, Real Madrid are out. They're into the Europa League. So, we need to play that, So it's not that we don't have any leverage. The past 2 seasons, we didn't have any leverage over, Tottenham and, let's say, Borussia Dortmund. We didn't have a leverage per se. This time we really have Real Madrid's future in our hands of sorts to an extent. So there are factors to consider, but I, like, as Manish said, this is something you just block all that out. Just focus on your own game, because what happens is, Gautam, at the end of the day, when you're on the pitch, you focus on any other team, you're likely to make errors. It's a pretty simple argument, right? So just play your own game, and, like, just, I hope none of those players bottles under pressure. Like, Gagliardini off late has been doing a fine job, and I'll give credit where it's due, even though I'm not a big fan. But these are moments where players like, Gagliardini need to step up, because we've never seen a player like him be mentally strong per se, is what I feel at least. This is a game where he should step up, and I believe he will start along with Vidal and Barella. Or let's see, maybe alongside, Barella, whoever, Brozovic. Let's see. But yeah, this is a game he needs to step up. There are no two ways about it. If he is in form, he needs to keep it going. As far as Lukaku is concerned, again, we need him to keep this form going. So let's hope. Just as Manish said, I couldn't agree more. You just cancel everything else out, focus on the game, and let's hope for a win, man.
Yeah, Manish, coming back to you, you said Darmian, you're guessing Darmian will start ahead of Hakimi, but Hakimi just scored amazing goals. He had one of his best matches in the Inter jersey, probably the best match in the Inter jersey, and he'll be brimming with confidence. Do you really want to put him on the bench in this match?
So the thing with Darmian's pretty more experience in this match, yeah, because he played for Manchester United, he played for Italy, and this time matches demands more experience. Hakimi, yes, he got the confidence back. I'm very happy with it. But like I said, Shakhtar is going to be completely going to shut us out. Shakhtar is going to sit back deep, so he won't get the space to run at like he had against Bologna. Bologna, he had acres of space. He had like completely freedom to run. This is not going to happen that way. So pretty sure Darmian's going to start. And Darmian, whenever he has started this time matches, his composure was really important. I think previous Champions League match also, he played an amazing game, man of the match performance against Borussia Mönchengladbach. So Shakhtar is again a European opposition. So I would suggest Conte to stick with Darmian, and definitely, I'm not saying don't bring Hakimi. Hakimi is really vital. In the last 30 minutes he comes on, it's really important. But I'm more excited for the midfield trio. I think for the first time you're going to see Brozovic sitting back. It's going to be Barella and Vidal. These are the three combinations which I would choose my first choice three midfield. I think Gallagher is not going to start. He's going to be on the bench. So because Barella's rested for the midweek for this, and Vidal is back from his suspension, and Brozovic, I think last three matches he has completely changed. So this three I'm really excited to see. And yes, in the left back, I think Ashley Young and Perisic. I'm not quite sure who's going to start. Perisic has better again European experience playing at Bayern Munich and stuff. So there are chances where we can see Darmian and Perisic start. But pretty much the back three is going to remain the same. That also has been one of our main for us to change our fortunes, yeah, because we had trouble with Kolarov, we had trouble with D'Ambrosio, and now last I think three matches, our defense look solid finally. Against Bologna, I won't say it was a defensive mistake. It was more like one of those crazy chances where just Palacio gave a random flick in the air, back heel flick, and things got out of hand. It's not like Inter's mistake that goal came in. So at least that has been satisfying for me, because all this while we are conceding on stupid goals or stupid errors, like Sanchez gives some back pass which they intercept and they score. But there was nothing like that. It was just out of the blue where one of the passes was chipped by back heel and they scored. So I'm expecting a pretty much 3-5-2 formation only. The midfield I'm really excited about. The strikers definitely Lautaro and Lukaku is going to start this big game.
Yeah, so let's get to the prediction. So sticking with you itself, Manish, what do you think will be the scoreline?
I'm going for I know last two I get negative results into one. Should I continue the trend or should I stay with Inter victory? This time I'm going to say Inter is going to win because I'm confident Shakhtar is a team Inter has beaten before, and Mönchengladbach, they destroyed Shakhtar out of the park. I think 10-0 aggregate. So it's just that Real Madrid are really bad shape right now. We were foolish enough, or we were naive enough not to beat them. But definitely I'm expecting Inter and Conte to, this is one of those games where we can definitely break a curse and qualify to the next round of Champions League. I'm expecting a 2-0 win from Inter. And I would say Darmian and Lukaku to be on the score sheet. That is my expectation for the match. I'm not sure about Real Madrid's match, but definitely hoping for us to qualify for the next round.
Yeah, Parmeshwar, coming to you, what are your predictions?
Yeah, I mean, like Manish, predicted, he wasn't sure before he wanted to actually make that winning prediction. I'm actually going to take a different course, and actually for the first time, I'm not going to predict a scoreline. It's nothing to do with, of course, I just don't know. I can't get a read over this. Like, I don't know. I just feel what I just want to see is, the team go out and play their own game eventually. I don't know what this game will pan out like. I just don't feel like predicting this one. The nervous part of me, says that this I just can't put put a finger over this game. With that being said, I'll just say, Shakhtar, the only dangerous thing I'd like to point about them, what I saw against Real Madrid as well is that, they had a lot of absentees yet again. And with a rotated squad, they actually, I know Real Madrid, as Manish said, aren't that, very, in an inconsistent form. But even with a makeshift team, Shakhtar, sort of a makeshift team, they ended up beating them, players like Tyson, Tete, and also it is going to be a tough game. So, yeah, I'm not going with any prediction, but maybe if whatever the scoreline, whichever way it goes, I feel it's going to still be a close one, something like the first leg. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go completely different route, and I'm going to take a punt again and say it'll be 4-0 for us. I think it'll be 3-0 at halftime, and then fourth goal in like 80th minute, just for fun. Maybe Gallardini will come in and score another volley.
But before we win, even if we win, I would like to ask the two of you, do we go through or do we not? That's the main prediction, I guess, because our result is still dependent on Mönchengladbach and Madrid. So what about that?
Well, I think we'll go through along with Real Madrid. I think we'll win 4-0 and Madrid might spring a surprise and win, I think 3-1, I guess. Manish, what do you think of the Madrid result?
Like I said, if you remember, if you go back to 2 or 3 podcasts before, I said the Real Madrid game will be a game changer for us. I expect us to beat Madrid, and that will open us. But that, I think Real Madrid completely outplayed us. So, but anyways, the result worked out, and Conte realized and changed his formation to 3-5-2. Ever since we have been winning consistently, so I'm expecting Inter to definitely win. And like you pointed out, Real Madrid is too experienced for this stage to lose. So Real Madrid definitely did go for the win. Like I think it's going to be a high scoring match, either like a 3-1 or 4-1 victory for Real Madrid, and we would qualify finally after years. I don't know last time when did we go to the Champions League knockout stages, but yes, I'm expecting along with Madrid we qualifying in the second place.
So there you have it, folks. That's another episode of Inter Club India podcast done. Please let us know in the comments about Conte's behavior towards Eriksen and what will happen between us and Shakthar and Madrid and Mönchengladbach. Thank you.